Hello, it's Eric from E.M.B.R, and today we are doing Zwift Games Stage 4, London Uprising, another climbing stage. Trying to take the lessons we learned from Volcano and race the GC and not the actual race that I'm in. Try to use what I can to keep draft and get some value out of being in a race, but make sure that I am focused on the overall GC and not just my position in the existing race. Two very tough climbs, Fox and Box. Let's see how it goes. This race starts off with a little bit of a kick, but mostly you can just sit in until the bottom of Fox, and then the fireworks going to kick off. As perspective, I've watched enough of advanced races on this stage to know that people are going up in stupid times, like 4 minutes and 45 seconds, 5 minutes. I know I can't hang with that. If people start to go off at that rate, I do want to though try to hang on with the laggards or find a good chase. My goal is to get up in low fives, under 5:30, but I'm fully aware that that still may not keep me attached. I want to be able to fall through as much of the pack as I can while still being attached. And all I mean there is I want to be near the front when the climb starts rather than at the back of the train, because I'm going to be probably falling backwards as it is. I don't want to start at the back. It's also worth noting that Fox Hill, the climb, you're probably going for a good minute on this section here before the actual proper KOM actually starts. So I'm already up 400 plus watts. Trying to sit in on this flat section, stay seated, because I know that there's going to be some standing and grinding once we get to that orange red. So trying to stay above 400 watts, trying to stay kind of near the front. Again, not start falling back yet, because I know it's going to be a struggle when this really starts going to keep with the front and stay attached. But yeah, I'm trying to stay seated, still push watts. Cadence is in the 90s. It's gonna plummet down into the 60s here when we hit this orange section. I'm gonna pop the gear plus the incline. But yeah, just trying to stay relatively attached to this front group, knowing at least the front 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever are going to go off, but I'm hoping I can stay attached to the back. Alright, we hit the steeper section, definitely. You can see cadence drops down to 70, even into the 60s. I'm trying to just grind and power, watts are above 500. You can see that starts to push through the group. I'm fine, I'm still in draft. What drafter is, this is not a very draftable climb, unlike Volcano. Fox has definitely got some steep sections here, so really the value of draft isn't here. It's just trying to stay attached such that when we get to the descent and the flats that I can get some value out of drafting. That's the whole point of trying to stick with this group, who definitely going up fast. I'm still working on being able to sustain low cadence power. Reality is I can sustain low cadence grinding power for longer if it weren't 500 watts or 450 plus watts. I mean, that's the part of this that's just brutal. The watt per kg, I'm 77 kilograms. I'm having to push. If I wanted to stay attached to this, I'd probably have to average 450 plus watts. And that's a little beyond my means, but I'm trying the best I can. Sitting there, it got a little less steep, so I'm trying to give the quads a little break, just a little bit different system. Cadence is back up, but still trying not to fall off the back. That's the danger, is you let off the power at all, and the group starts to pull away. You can see I'm not detached, but certainly falling to the back of the train. Some people passing me here as as I'm sitting, and I'm the second you're below 400 watts, or the second I'm below 400 watts at my weight, they're pulling away. So I know pretty soon here I'm going to have to do some work or else. So I'm trying to wait until it gets steep and sit through this shallower section, but I can't let them get away either. So sort of struggling with that and just trying to keep as much fresh, knowing I'm going to need my standing power for what you can see on the climb HUD, that orange and red that's upcoming. Still attached, I'm still alright. I'm feeling like heart rate's above 180. That's not great. I mean, I can go north of 190 if I need to, but this is the very beginning of the race. I don't want to hit the 190s or I'll just never recover from that. If I do that in the middle of the race. Sitting a little more, still attached, still around 400 watts, and here's where I'm like, okay, it's getting steep. We got to grind out some power again. And so we definitely pop up. And that surges me. What I'm realizing though, when I'm doing that, it's like into my glycolytic system basically. It's short-term power. It is not something I can sustain. Like that 500 that I could kind of almost sustain at the beginning. Now that is like this, short and pop up to 600, 700 briefly, back down and try to, and it surges me forward on the hill because it's steep, and then I'm 400. There's gonna be more of that. This is painful to watch. Probably this is just me just digging deep, trying to stay attached, knowing I don't really have the power, but trying to stay close and hoping maybe we can crest and then follow. So close, yet so far as they ride off. Another punch, and here I'm thinking maybe save a little bit here and then punch and take speed over the crest so you can pick up speed and maybe you can drag these guys back in. They're definitely farther away than I want them to be. It's just above my means. Here we go. We're at the crest. I pop up 700 watts. I'm just trying to get up to speed. But I can't even see him anymore. So, not ideal. Not ideal. But that, I dug deep enough that I basically had to just do sort of glycolytic pops on that climb. Basically, hit, recharge, hit, recharge, hit. There was just no sustain left in my legs. It's part of my power curve I need to work on. So at this point, I'm 13th, lucky 13. I'm thinking I want to just, it's the GC, it's not the position. So I'm thinking, try to keep speed. I don't care about my calm time, but you'll see here, some people went through 455s. My time here is, that's a PB. 520, which if you'd have told me that at the beginning of the race, I'd have probably taken it. So not bad, definitely at my limit, no question. So someone comes through here. What I'm now looking for is, hey, there's 2, 3, even 4 people. If we can form like a middle mini Gruppetto, I don't know we're gonna be able to chase the people in the front, but I want to keep the speed up on the descent and do the best we can on that. I am definitely gassed from that effort, though. Heart rate needs to come down. I'm feeling it. And for the descent, I'm going to let live commentary take over because I was actually able to talk while recouping heart rate on the downhill. But you'll hear what I was thinking about strategy-wise just from my live statements as I was riding downhill.
Keep the legs moving. Oh. We would work together and not try to destroy each other, we could get a good time. I don't know any of these people, so we'll see. Just trying to keep the speed up.
I will say those two dangling off the front, I am trying to pull them back by the time we get to the flats, but I'm also not trying to have to punch too hard on the descent.
Maybe catch at the escalator with a big pop of speed or power to carry speed.
And as we approach the escalator, it looks like the guy in front of me has the same idea. You know, we can punch through. I pop above 1,000 watts, and I definitely hit it hard. But what I realize is, it's like I'm hitting that glycolytic system, or what, you know, however you want to call it. But I'm hitting that short-term energy system, and like,
yeah. The problem is, it's where my fitness breaks down. No aerobic left, just anaerobic, and short spurts. I think we went too far to the well on Fox. We had to, but
I just don't have sustain still from Fox. I'm still recovering. This is just me not having repeatability or durability or whatever you want to call it. I need to sustain 400 watts or more to grab onto those 3 or 4 and form a group there. I just don't have it. I just don't have it. I'd like to have it. I don't have it. So at this point, those 3 or 4 are off. It'd been nice to set a fast time with them and form a Gruppetto. But instead, what we're end up doing is trying to work with this guy. If we can pool, you know, just form a little draft and trade pools. That's my thought process at this point.
This is where my limitations as a rider become quite evident. Trying to do my part, keep the speed up a little within means.
I just want to keep the speed reasonable on the flats. Don't want to mail it in because this is a long section on the flats. It's not all about those climbs. It's important to get the climbs right, but yeah, I just want to sit in and try to get some pace going.
Just trying to get under 35 if possible. Don't know if that's a long shot or not. But whether I beat M.N. or not, I don't care. I just want us to get to a good time.
While I'm trying to pull M.N. along here, I also realize there's a bigger group that's about to catch us. I'm just trying to keep the pace reasonable while they ride on, and then hopefully take that full group to box.
Come on, giving you the downhill for an easy pass to pool. We'll have the larger group here in a second. That'll help.
And for the next little bit here, yeah, I'm basically just letting that group of 10 or 12 sort of roll over. Hopefully just get us into a nice sized group, sit in a little bit, recover.
Work together, folks. We can destroy each other on the hill.
Yeah, now that the group's 13, I'm just sitting in, trying to recover, let them drive the pace here. I get draft. I'm not trying to beat these folks, these 12 folks. I'm just trying to get value, keep the pace up, and overall goal GC time.
The goal isn't the field, it's under 35. Under 35. Don't blow up, keep it safe. Stop talking.
So yeah, the next bit of the race is pretty much that. So I'm time-lapsing it, but I'm just trying to sit in, tail gun, stay in the draft, be very efficient. I'm thinking about box. Trying to go under 7 is my thought. I can, if I were at the bottom of Box Hill fresh, I could go up much faster than that. But I know that after putting that sort of effort in, maybe if I can get up under 7, that'll be good. But again, I don't expect that I'll be with this group at the end of box. I'm just hoping to be with them at the beginning of box, and for as long as it makes sense, up box. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, just very efficient here, trying to get the heart rate down, sit in, and as we approach box, get ready.
Those are all PRL full times, 10 times in a row. I can do better, although maybe not. As cooked as I am, we'll see.
But same process here. Want to be towards the front, not in the front. Get a little bit of draft here, whatever draft is available. Box is shallower than Fox. It's longer distance, but shallower. So definitely can get some value of draft here if I can hang on. Again, I don't know, but I suspect that it's going to be tough for me to hold the wheel of this group all the way up. It's a chase group. In theory, they shouldn't be as strong as the group that dropped me on Fox, but I'm also cooked from what was, above the limit basically on Fox. But yeah, sitting down here, just trying to stick in draft, be efficient as I can. There's 20, well, it gets a little bit steeper there, but there's about 20-30 watts of draft depending on where you're at in the climb. Looking at the climb HUD, trying to think about where it gets steep, if I'm going to need to stand and pop some watts, and just hoping these guys aren't going to go up at 400, where I need to maintain 400, 450 watts, because I don't have it this time around. That's for certain. And getting into the red here, sitting, and again, I'm trying to do this part here, trying to save the legs, the punch, the standing and grinding for when I need it, like when it gets a little bit steeper. But yeah, heart rate's already starting to climb back into the high 170s, and you can see that I drop below 370, 380, and they start pulling away. So yeah, stand and grind, get the power up a little bit, which definitely pushes me forward. There's no question about that. If I could, I got to work on it. I got to start doing 4-minute, 5-minute intervals, standing, grinding at 400 plus watts. 400, 450. Get repeatability. It's going to take work. Because as soon as I fall back to 300s, yep, I got to stand and grind again. It doesn't feel good. I love the fact that it surges me forward like it does, but this sort of sporadic, high power back down, high power back down, stand grind. It's desperation climbing. It's not efficient climbing. Still on though. Definitely falling off the back, but still on. Get steep. And I'm definitely feeling it. It's like, I don't know how repeatable this is going to be for me to keep surge, drop, surge, drop. The problem is sustain that I can do. There we go, surging again. That sends me forward, but like that energy system just runs out of me. There's just nothing left. It's like I'll use the fuel for a second, get a little pop, but then I can barely sustain 300. So I know this isn't going to be sustainable. Definitely falling off the back again at 300 watts. Can't hang on there. One more pop. Shoots me forward, but yeah, they're still pulling away. This
is horrible, and it's not the way you climb. I just gotta ride my ride.
But yeah, right there, that basic decision, I couldn't keep doing that. And if I did, I was going to blow up. So I kind of felt at this point the best thing I could do for overall time was try to settle into something that's more like a sustainable flat rate, flat power graph versus the spiky stuff that I'm doing. So that's the goal. So bad news, getting dropped off the back again, but good news is around 31, 30 right now. I think 35 is definitely there as long as I don't blow up, and maybe even faster. So for this section, I'm just trying to get the watts above 300, keep them above 300, but something I can sustain. This guy comes past me. I'm like, maybe I can use him for some draft that's a little shallow here, but at the same point, I'm not trying to blow up again. So again, I'm thinking all about just the overall time at this point versus who I'm going to beat. A little bit in my head, I'm a competitive person. I'm like, that's a carrot up there. But I'm thinking more, let's try to save enough power that I can actually pop some speed above the crest. right where that section where the yellow transitions into blue. I want to have some kick so that I can take speed, pop my arrow, and just get the most value out of the arrow. Again, would it be nice to be drafting that guy? Yeah. I just kind of knew where my legs were, so I'm just trying to keep him in sight. He's in the back of my mind. Keep him close. If you pop it hard, you might bring him back, but don't try to bring him back on the hill right now. Use the power. I have limited power reserves at this point in terms of surge, as you can see from when I pop and drop. So yeah, I'm just trying to ease in. You can even see me come back to green here a little bit and just getting ready. And I have very little pop in my legs, as you can see at the short duration of that. But mainly I'm trying to get a little bit of speed before I get to the crest and then hit it again.
I got absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm trying to show 3.8 for me. It's not pretty efficient, all things considered, but showing the other results here. Yeah, north of 5 sustained for the people that really lead in the field, and yeah, north of 4 for the folks that are dropping me still. There are the Zwift power results, down at 19th. Again, pretty efficient overall compared to the rest of the field. You can see the 5 minute and 20 minute if you want to pause. But here's the real thing I was targeting, which was just overall 230th as the end of the race. And this is the last day that people are doing the climb, so feel like that's pretty representative of where I'll sit. And I pasted in multiple pages here so you can kind of see where the top 3 are, top 50, top 100, top 150, 200, etc. Then also on the right, just throwing my power number so you can see, yeah, this is definitely not a great power curve above 1 minute. I mean, my 1 minute's great, and then after that it gets sketchy, but still able to do fairly well even after the 2 climb stages, so I'm proud of that.
Oh, see what my box time was? Probably 7 plus. Yeah, no, 6:56. Way to gut it out, asshole. Good job. That's 35 with stretch. I mean, I felt it was within capability. I wouldn't have set it as a goal, but not exactly a coin flip, but maybe a 30% chance of failure just because I executed wrong, blew up like I almost did on Fox. But mental checked, made the right call not to chase the flats, sit up for the chase, hold them as long as I could get value, probably a little longer than I could get value if we're honest with that punchy nonsense, but settled in and then just rode for time. Had a little carrot to chase there at the end. I was going hard no matter what the banner were. The other rider, honestly, that was all about the banner and setting the time I could, taking speed over that hill, carrying speed. May have done that wrong. I punched to get to my initial speed before the crest. Maybe a little too hard, too early, but I wanted to get some speed, then make the second punch at the crest a little bit easier to do and carry speed over. I'll have to watch it back. I was breathing out every orifice at that point, so execution was top of mind, but I was all over the place, if we're honest. But yeah, that at the end of Fox and in the middle of box, that glycolytic pop, short recover, pop, short recover, pop. That's desperation climbing, not efficient climbing, but I can defend it on Fox. I was trying to stay attached to some sort of draft. Box, I probably held on longer than I should have that way, but what happens when you're at the limit. And that was definitely the limit. Definitely the limit. I need some rest days. I'm such a baby, but it's actually the opposite problem. I'm such an adult. 54 in June. I have to rest a couple days, taper just to coax an effort like that out of my body. If I don't, I try to coax it out of my body and I blow up. Like a few days ago on Volcano. Didn't give myself enough rest after setting a PB on the test and then blew up on the race. Tried to do it smarter this time. I did a couple partial climbs 2 days ago, not full and not 100%. Then gave myself sort of a short zone 1, 2, plus a little primer to keep the legs sharp yesterday. And then raced this on the weekend at 11 a.m. instead of on a weekday at 7 a.m., which makes a whole world of difference in terms of getting nutrition in, letting it digest. Body's rested, ready to go at race time, rather than still trying to wake up. So I'd say this was probably a pretty damn good snapshot of my maximum capabilities on a race like this right now. Can do better on the flats, but on a double pop climb like this, 6 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes sustain, it's about as much as I can ask for. I need to train to get better. A lot more sort of 5-minute CP intervals at like 120, maybe 125% if I can sustain it. Good rest, rinse, wash, repeat until I can get used to this, plus some strength training, which I already do, but come April I'll probably start documenting it, but come April we're gonna start a block of base plus strength plus weight loss, probably April, May, somewhere in there, definitely all of April. Then start to add some intensity again at somewhere between 72 and 75 kg at that point, I hope. Still maintaining my power because of the strength training, still maintaining the aerobics because of the volume zone 2 I'll be doing for base, and then start to sharpen it, all aiming towards September fall Zwift, being a new, more dangerous 54-year-old. More to come on that, but that's the plan. This motivates me, getting drops for sure. It's the reason to race up. Sometimes people avoid racing up. Race up, get your ass handed to you. You either run away and quit, or you double down, get better. But I am definitely getting this race definitely exposes that gap in my power band between 5 minute and 20 minute. I'm sort of a B rider between 5 and 20, and an A rider between 2 and 4, and an A plus rider between 0 and 1. That's a funky power curve. Works for some races, not for these. But yeah, I was definitely relying on my glycolytic system on those climbs rather than my aerobic. As I pop, refill, 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 pop, refill, 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 pop. And eventually, I just can't keep doing that. It's not efficient at all. But I was relying on the only system that was going to work at that power average. The aerobics were gone until I settled down to a lower power range, which is what I had to do in the end. All right, that was under 34 though, so not only under 35, under 34. That is, if you'd have given that to me at the beginning of the race, I'd have taken it. Absolutely would have taken it. That's a PB right there. That's significant. Like 15 watts maybe. But that was absolute. All right. Goals met.
That was freaking above where pacing that I wanted, trying to hold, and then just stupidity. Absolutely not how you should climb, but same here. That is a funny looking graph, friends. Just scrub this basically from 3. Yeah, roughly 330, 4, and then just somehow finding a way through suffering to sustain that through 5. It's the difference between a weekend fed, somewhat rested, and a weekday. And then just having a carrot to chase that pushed me beyond what I thought I could do. That's just nuts. $10? Taking too many pictures, but so yeah, 5-minute PB, almost 10-minute. Here's the 5-minute stats from Sauce and Strava. Definitely a hard effort, no question about that. And then here's the overall intervals, and you can definitely see the spiky torque cadence interplay that was going on there. Not efficient. Got the job done, but we need work. But that's it for today. As far as Queen stage, stage 5. Yeah, if you thought stage 4 kicked my butt, stage 5 is even worse for my profile. But yeah, we'll do it next weekend. Come and rest it as best I can, do the best I can, and we'll see where it gets us. See you then.